Well, now that the front of the truck What's up, guys? Welcome back into the YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping in. Today we are going to be working on the 9080 again. We got it pulled into the shop here. We're actually going to be dismantling the front end again, getting rid of the chrome painted front bumper. We actually bought a primered bumper that's going to be going on this. We're going to be doing new hood latch, release cable, and I'm going to try and find an OEM GMC grill that fits 1,000 times better. That's the plans. While everything's out, I'm going to touch up paint on everything. I need to do the GMC emblem. There was one day after I got done cleaning it, I shot some like back to black on it, and apparently it didn't like that, and it just discolored it terribly. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump to time-lapse mode, get the front grille pulled apart. Like I said, the new hood latch cable, everything in the works to make the front end look 1,000 times better. The reason I want to find a OEM GMC grill back is because it sits nice and flush on this side. The other side, it's sucked in and it doesn't line up with the fenders or anything. We're also going to be having a lot of the parts that went to sandblasting are going to hopefully be going to powder coat this next week. Like the new rear diff cover, so you guys can stop hating on how flaky and nasty the old one is. I know it's been in the process of getting a new one. Airbags, all the hardware for those. We're going to lift the front of the truck up a little bit higher. We're going to be throwing some mud flaps on the front of it because I'm tired of the rock chips and everything already. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive on into it, jump to the time lapse, and get this thing pulled apart. Well, the grill is out of the way. Now we got to remove the lower trim panel piece. There's 5 bolts. I believe there's 7 mils to hold it on all the way across it. That piece will come out. Then you'll be able to access the front bumper bolts. That's the next thing. Before we do that, I think I'm gonna go ahead, since I got this loose, run our new cable and everything, get that all ran to the cab. So what I end up getting is a replacement. This is the latch assembly, so this portion, and then I got the new cable with the pull, which obviously is the cable. We'll just trace it all the way into the cab and hook it up, and that should solve our hood problems. For some reason, this, I don't know if it just wore out, but it did not want to release. You had to pull the hood cable 15 times for it to release once out of those 15 times. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but we're gonna go ahead and get that swapped over, and then we'll move on to removing our lower trim and getting that front bumper in. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a brief rundown on how to run this. So obviously unbolt your old one, and it locks in here, and then this little, I'll call it the weighted end, hooks in to your latch. And obviously when you look at it, it's gonna be like this from the front. There's a little hole right there that this will poke through, runs along the front of the firewall. There's a clip that goes right here. Looks like this little, it's like a J clip almost. That's what I call it, because if you flip it sideways, it makes a J. But it slips on like this. The J goes towards the firewall and hooks into the cable. So once that's done, there's a little, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there's a little I don't know, quarter size hole in the firewall that you run your cable through. In here, it goes up behind our emergency brake cable. If you guys can see that little button there for the emergency brake cable, it's kind of up and behind it. I don't know if I can actually get you guys to be able to see it. If you guys, it's right between the block and the emergency cable there. I don't know if you guys can see it up in there, kind of glowing, but that's where it's at. And then you have a little rubber grommet here that plugs that hole, so no moisture or nothing. And then you have a star bit here that holds on your latch to your A-pillar of the truck. And then obviously you'll put your panel back on. But it's not difficult. The most difficult part for me was obviously this being a little messed up. On that end, I just cut that end off where the weighted part was, and then I just snaked it through. But we're gonna go ahead and, like I said, get this run through the little porthole here across the front, and then get it tied in, and then we'll get our latch adjusted. And that should take care of our hood issues and everything like that. Then we'll go ahead and get that lower trim piece pulled. Now that the front of the truck is destroyed. No, I'm just playing. So we got everything taken apart. All the bolts came out super easy. I think I'm gonna swap the bumper bolts over to stainless so they don't rust, especially when we stick it in there with the painted bumper. I think what I'm gonna do the next time is get a rubber washer or some sort, because obviously you can see where we tighten it down, it is starting to chip around the paint there. And then same thing on this lower lip. So I think I'm just gonna put a rubber piece or a plastic washer in between there. But like I said, I'm gonna swap it over to probably stainless. Make sure we don't have any issues there. Like I said, I'm on the hunt for an OEM grill, but I think I'm gonna see if I can find all black of the clearance lights here. These ones have the amber. I'm gonna see if I can find the all black ones. We'll swap over to those. I'm probably gonna touch up a little bit of the paint, some stuff here and there. But now we're gonna go ahead and jack up the front of the truck. We're going to turn the wheels and get the mud flaps mounted on, well, the fenders here. Like I said, I'm tired of the rock chips. I know I got one on the other side. I can show you guys real quick. And I also did like the truck bed lining on the lower half. We got one right there, you can see it, but I'm going to try to avoid that and any down the side. Obviously if there's rocks stuck in the outer grooves, I won't be able to protect it much, but the mud flaps should be able to obviously stop it from chipping up through this area as much as possible. But we also are going to raise the front of the truck just a tad bit more. So while it's up in the air, we'll take a measurement from the tire to the lower fender well there. And I'm gonna try and go up maybe another ½ inch, just because when we swapped over to the 20x12 Arkons, that's a -51 wheel, so it's a little bit wider than the 18x12s I was running. When I turned, it was rubbing on the lower corner of the bumper. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not. Yeah, right there, which was bringing it back to chrome. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I gotta swap batteries because the low battery light's flashing at me, so I guess I'll do that as well. But let's go ahead and get the jack and get this thing up in the air. Okay, fresh battery is swapped in. I'm gonna go ahead and take a measurement here off the tire to our fender, which we're about 10, I'll call that 11. We're just shy of 11. So we'll get a measurement of both sides. We're just a little bit lower on the passenger side, but we'll go ahead. We're 11 on the driver's side here. Well, just under, like a tick under 11 inches. And then on the passenger side, we're a tick over 10 3/4. So we're sitting a little bit soft on the passenger side, so we'll get that adjusted. But I want to go ahead and get that measurement so we can get the front of the truck jacked up. We can turn the bolts for the torsion bars, raise the keys just a hair, and then we'll get the wheels turned to be able to mount our mud flaps. All right, so we got it mocked up there. I just got a few self tappers here. I'm gonna put 3 in. Should be good. I hope. It might get ripped off. I don't know. That's what we're gonna find out here. We're gonna go right down in here. Maybe. Maybe. That thing went in at a really weird angle, so I guess we'll move to a different spot. I'm trying to keep it flush mounted there at the top. Okay, there's one. If I can get that other one started now, down here at the bottom. Maybe. Oh, I hit the lip of the inner fender liner, so we'll just move up just a tad bit. Go right there. There's 2. And there's 3. Beautiful. Just like that. Mud flaps are mounted. Well, one's mounted. But we'll move you back here to kind of give you guys what it'll look like. I like the mud flaps. I mean, I'm not against them, especially if they're gonna save my paint. The only thing I'm worried about is if I turn and it grabs it and rips it off. So we're gonna do that, test real quick and see what happens. And that right there is what I was talking about. I'm probably gonna end up ripping these things off because we're touching right there. If we come back that direction, you can hear it grabbing. So I'm not certain what's gonna happen. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and mount the other side. We'll lift the front just a tad bit. I might have to trim them down just a tad to make them just a little bit shorter. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll figure something out. But as long as they do their job and keep it from getting rock chips all up in this area, that's my main concern. All right guys, so I went ahead and lifted everything up. I went 2 full turns on this torsion key and 2 1/4 or 2 3/4 on the passenger side. So now we're perfectly level. We went up about 3/4 of an inch on this side and just above an inch on that side. And then what I like to do when I mess with my torsion bars, I typically will stand obviously on the bumper, but I don't have one, so I sit on the bumper horns here and kind of just bounce it up and down to simulate going down the road, and you'll have like the potholes and stuff, so it's settled a little bit. And then I get in there and turn the wheels a little bit, pull it forward and backwards, just to simulate everything kind of going down the road, which works great. Like I said, I know I'm gonna rub back here. These will probably end up getting ripped off at some point. But like I said, if they do their job and just watch for rock chips, that's all I'm after. But I don't know how long this video is gonna be, so I'm gonna end it there. We got the whole front tore apart, basically destroyed the front of the truck again. But in the bed, we have the new bumper. I'm on the hunt for a grill yet. What else did we order? We have a new GMC emblem for the tailgate. We're gonna touch up some paint on the tailgate, reshoot it, shoot the front bumper. We're gonna shoot the little trim valance piece here again, get some marker lights ordered, and we should be ready to rock and roll. So anyway guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys got any questions, like these types of videos, be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and remember, learning as I do, doing what I love. I'm the GMN. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.